Welcome to Apocalypse, Mr. Mannheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
Hola, Bemmers. Hoy vamos a ver a Metamorpho, el hombre elemento. Estás escuchando Darkseid's Couch. Soy Mike.
Soy James. Soy James.
I'm Shée.
Shée dropped the ball.
I love it.
I know. I
It was so good.
practiced that all day.
God damn,
a lot of
Mike.
work.
Bravo.
Dude,
And you're going to see this through for the entirety of the episode, right?
No, that
the
was it.
duration of the episode.
it's all my Spanish.
Can't even fucking speak English right, and I'm trying to push Spanish on other people. That's me. That was a criticism of me and my lackluster English. Great. Well, that was the most effort we had. Probably wrap it up now.
All right.
You guys want to do the wheel?
These on my part.
Like and subscribe and
Yeah, okay. Well, that took me off guard, but that's good. I like that. I was pleased. I was happy. It's Darkseid's Couch. It's a show where we look at comic books and we tell you about them. It's no big deal. Just relax. It's fine.
Yeah, stop freaking out about
It's
this.
not that big of a deal. It's just a show. I realize that I think maybe some people, they might stumble on the show and the thumbnails or whatever might make it seem like it's about comic books, and it is. But then they listen to the first 5 minutes. They're like, what the fuck? This isn't about comic books at all. And so I wonder if maybe you got to guide people gently back in and let them know, no, there is going to be comic book stuff eventually. Yeah. Or maybe they don't like comic books. I don't know. Seems like
lot of people
statistically speaking, most people don't like comic books. Yeah.
Whenever I try to push the show on people, they tell me they don't like comic books and they don't like podcasts.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, one of those things we can duck.
And
We
I'm
can
like, yeah, but
definitely-
I'm on it. That's usually my response.
we can definitely downplay the comic book part. That's fine. Get that down to a lean 5 minutes at the end of the show.
Hey, we won't have to read anymore.
God, I'm so sick of reading. There's
I
so
know,
many
right?
words. Oh my God. It never stops with the words.
that's why we like them comic book pictures.
Them comic books. Yeah.
Yeah, break
them
it up.
comic
Break
books.
up the words a little bit.
Yeah, break up the words. People writing novels. Break it up with some pictures in there.
Maybe
No,
that's why
I got my novels read to me by a dog.
Okay. What that is.
What's the story? Wishbone.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Wishbone. That's
Wishbone.
right. Wishbone
Yeah.
read story. Yeah, that's right.
Fucking
remember
nerd who reads a nerd dog that reads books.
Oh, Wishbone was great.
No, I upped the nerd. I read the novelization of a Wishbone episode, which was about a novel, which I believe was the Iliad.
Shée, are you doing a craft while you're recording this podcast?
Yes, so that I don't play around with other shit.
Oh my God. All right. I guess I'll allow it.
You guys don't do. I mean, I'm also doing other things while we're doing this podcast.
Jesus Christ, guys. Focus.
It's a it's a cross stitch. It's
I
not
asked
like
for
I'm building.
an hour and a half every 2 weeks.
I know. I'm always doing that though.
You guys and your ADHD, man.
I know. It's a superpower. You just have to utilize it.
You should try autism, hyperfocus.
I need a little bit just to kind of even out the ADD though.
Maybe if we had put all of our DNA in a bin and kind of swirled it together, we'd all get the perfect recipe of attention.
Ooh, the world can't handle that perfection.
Not much, yeah. All right.
Also,
well,
none of us can carry a child anymore, so
I mean, I haven't even tried.
that's
Like how
true.
Shave's always bragging about it.
I do
Yeah.
love bragging
She's like, I
about
use
it.
science to take away
fuck it up.
a biological
Yeah.
inconvenience.
To push back against God.
I yeeted my tubes.
Yeeted. Ooh.
Yeah, I yeeted them.
Yeet.
Oh man, this is the right time for me to hit that fucking sound, and I don't have it anymore. The. I just got this instead.
China.
Better,
Yeah, no,
arguably.
this was good.
Yeah,
I'm
Shée hates
glad,
it so
I'm glad
much.
we changed it.
All right. We're gonna
You
look at
laugh, but now that I'm editing, I can just replace it with
Yeah, but
something
why?
I do
Why would
like.
you? It's so funny.
I'm gonna put it in so many times that the show will not function if you take it out.
Oh,
it's
man,
just not gonna
so-
be the same thing anymore.
He's so unhinged now.
He's
Like
so-
he is fucking unhinged.
Are we talking about James or Trump?
Talking about Donald Trump.
Oh,
Did you see the Bible? Did you see the
Dude,
Bible
yeah,
he's selling?
Yeah, he's selling Bibles now, dude.
You're starting to sound like him, James.
Dude,
Oh,
China.
Well, we're all gonna have to. Shea, have you seen the Bible he's selling?
Dude.
Yes, the God Bless
Dude.
America Bible.
God Bless America Bible with the lyrics to Lee Greenwood's what is it? Is it God Bless the USA? His song?
I don't know.
Proud to be an
my
American?
goodness.
Is that
Proud to be an American. Yeah, the lyrics to that are in
Yeah.
the Bible now.
I mean, like he'll start going off, and he'll like kind of trail off, and then forget what he was talking about, and then just like be gone. And he'll be
he's-
giving these massive like speeches.
It's if he loses this time, like this is
there's
it.
no
He-
choice.
And he must know that this is it, because like he's not gonna be able to stand up in 4 years. So this is his last shot. And if he loses this, it's gonna be chaos.
Dude, both guys running for president, like they're old men who are
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
cognitive issues.
Yeah, they're having cognitive
any
issues.
other job, they'd be forced to retire.
Right.
And instead, we're like, you want to keep going?
Well, I tell you something. I tell you, one person who actually got to continue working past that age is the artist for this book.
Oh.
Oh, really?
And we'll get into that momentarily, because it's actually, I did not realize who was on art on this book, and it's actually pretty notable.
I like the art in this book.
The art in the book is pretty goddamn good. I think
It
you'll-
is.
I think you'll be pleased with some of the information that's going to come up. But before we get into talking about Metamorpho the Elephant Man, as I kept calling him last time,
Yeah.
I thought it was a funny joke then. I still think it's a funny joke now. I stand by it.
When I was translating the opening into Spanish, I almost said the Spanish word for elephant and see if anyone would notice. But saying elemento was so much fun out loud.
Elemento.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
just
did a
had to go
lot
on.
of Duolingo Spanish for years, and I picked up a good chunk, but I should have been way better than I was.
Oh yeah, you should have did this. You would.
No, that's the thing is, given the amount of time, it's embarrassing the amount of time that I spent learning Spanish and how relatively little of it I really truly absorbed. Like I get enough of it. The main thing I want to do is when I hear people speaking Spanish, I just want to be able to understand enough to know that they're not talking about me. That's
They
the
are.
main
They
thing,
are
and that's
talking
what I
about you,
could.
though.
Either not enough or too much.
Anytime you hear a language that's not English, they're talking about you.
I do worry about that.
Yeah, you should, because they are.
Because it does seem like that's the code. Is to
You know how
like, let's talk about this
I
fucking
ask
white
people
boy.
who speak other languages, and I ask, "Are you talking shit about the person who doesn't speak the language you're speaking?" He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah, I can't blame him. Okay, speaking of talking shit, before we get into everything, a few episodes ago in our I Dream of Genie episode, we checked in with Hulk Hogan and his mountain of lies.
Oh no.
Well, I
Mountain
don't.
is not big enough.
His
It's a Hulk of lies.
it's bigger than him. It's a Hulk of lies. No. I don't.
Snaps for you.
Listen, you may be a little disappointed, but we are going to follow up on the Hogan report.
I just want to know what happened. What really happened?
Well, we're working on it.
I
I'm
know.
not going to say we got to the bottom of it, but we're working on it. It's the Hogan report. Listen to the end of this. Listen closely. He says, Shea, he says, mercy, mercy from Tokyo.
That should be my alarm.
God,
Mercy, mercy.
that would get you up.
Wouldn't that make you
It's
hate your
your
life though after like a week of like 6 a.m.
Well,
wake up calls?
When
Just
I
listen to
was
that song?
late elementary school, I guess, early middle school or something, I had an alarm clock that was a Winnie the Pooh alarm clock. It was actually a Tigger alarm clock.
Ooh.
And when it went off, it was like a mechanical alarm clock. It would very loudly go, hoo 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 hoo. Are you ready to bounce? Bounce, 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 bounce,
Oh,
bounce,
that's
bounce,
maddening.
bounce, bounce,
Yeah,
bounce.
you can't do
Hoo, hoo,
that.
hoo, hoo. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And it would not stop until you got up and hit that button.
I think that's led to a lot of your anxiety as
Yeah.
an adult.
No, being born led to my anxiety.
Existential dread.
So essentially, and you can go back and listen to our I Dream of Genie episode to really get caught up. But just the basics is, in January, Hulk Hogan, wrestler and famous truth teller, he claimed that he and a buddy of his pulled a 17-year-old girl out of an overturned car on a Miami highway. Although the story's full of holes.
Because he's the real American hero.
Well, sure. Yeah, the lamestream media doesn't care, so I've been investigating it and kind of coming up a little dry. Last time I tried to get a copy of the accident report, but I was foiled because they wanted to communicate via email, and I'd given them an email that was maybe a little more creative than quote-unquote real. you know? So I had to go back and try again. And so I made another email that, maybe it's a real name. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it says on the email or what the email was made out to. It's an existing email account that I created and put in some information, and I requested the accident report again. And pretty soon thereafter, shockingly soon thereafter, I got the following email back from, the city of Tampa. I don't know why it says city of Tampa when it happened in Miami, but okay.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, a little suspicious. I will put this up. I will redact some of the information, but it basically reiterates what I requested, and then it says the City of Tampa Public Records Center has reviewed its files and has determined there are no responsive documents to your request.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Investigation.
Well, I don't know if there's an investigation, but there's certainly documents about what happened.
I think there's a conspiracy here to cover this up. I think they didn't expect anyone to go looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly the police are running scared. They're running scared at this point,
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously owned by like Vince McMahon.
Yep. No.
Come on.
The pieces are coming together. The pieces are slowly but surely, the pieces are coming together. So I will say if anybody else wants to maybe bombard them politely, no threats, because these police officers, they're scared too, all right?
So what you're saying is that we should ask our listeners to protest in front of Hulk Hogan's house.
You can protest in front of Hulk Hogan's house. You can write to
Get off my lawn, brother.
Miami Police Department and try to figure out, try to get some sort of records on this. See what you can find. Don't threaten anybody. They're already scared because, as far as I can tell, Boss Hogan, as I'm sure they're calling him, he's running Miami. He's running Tampa.
I bet he's drawing a lot of water in Tampa.
He really is.
And they're doing all this because they want Hulk Hogan to bring in even more money to Tampa.
Well, or they're scared of him. He's the scourge of Miami.
What if they had like a budgeting issue and he figured out a way to buy Tampa, and now Hogan is secretly the owner and the police are just doing what he says?
I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think the media is under his thumb. I think the police are running scared. And I'll tell you another thing, I think the churches are under his control too.
Yeah, that church, I think for sure that
you think Jesus is in on this?
Yep.
Yep, Jesus needed a little kickback. Well, there's a second part to this. I actually saw Hogan just recently. He was on ringsidenews.com, and I watched an interview. It was some sort of interview with some sort of Christian YouTuber where they were talking about this. And Hulk's version of the story, it's not turning into contradictions from what he said previously, but it's getting more and more heroic because now he's claiming that they were like the first people that showed up. They saw it happen, and the car was still rocking when they walked up to it, which doesn't make any sense because how long does a car rock after it rolls over?
I don't know. He could
seconds?
be telling the truth.
He could be telling the truth, but he's claiming they couldn't even see into it because the airbags had covered the entire interior. It's not necessarily contradicting.
Oh,
but
the airbags he popped with his Hulk Hogan branded Christian knife.
With his Indian Rocks Baptist Church
he owns that
pen.
church.
Come on. Well, and that's the other thing I was looking into is does he own the church? And I couldn't find anything that officially tied him to ownership of Indian Rocks, but I did look it up.
Could just be a church he's in.
It is he's definitely, that's where he was baptized. But I did some research into this.
It's a shoot, brother.
And I got myself a Ben Verified account so that I could look up a particular person. I believe the registered owner of Christian Rocks Baptist Church, Indian Rocks Baptist Church, by the way, actually, is a man named Timothy Ferguson. So I went looking for Timothy Ferguson and got a Ben Verified account because you can actually see any sort of arrest records or anything. So I decided to see what kind of skeletons that Timothy Ferguson is hiding in his past. And look at this. Turns out that in 2004, Mr. Ferguson paid a parking meter and then didn't pay when his time expired. Look at this guy.
Really? They have that?
And then he just paid a little fine. Some heroic meter maid showed up, and he just paid a little fine to make the whole thing go away.
Wait, this is like records of people's criminal history that you can just look up?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, dude.
If you get a Ben Verified account,
Welcome
yes.
to the world.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's out there. It's out there. And so this guy, we don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was at a cat house cheating on his wife. We don't know.
What if you're trying to change your life and employers are just looking up your criminal history?
That's what a background check is.
Yeah, it is a background check. There might be some ways to expunge certain things. I don't know. But as a general rule, you can get access to these things. You got to pay for it.
I don't know.
You can get access to these things.
It's like punishing people forever.
Well, maybe we all just need to understand that we all need to be punished a little bit forever, but especially Mr.
That's
Ferguson.
hell, James. You're describing hell.
Yes, we're kind of in hell.
What if that's
it's
what
kind
happened?
of a hell on earth?
What if we're like something happened and like we're all in hell, every single one of us?
Yeah, we've done a few episodes that felt that way.
This is fun. Let's talk about a man that changes into stuff.
Oh, well, we're still in another segment, Shée. Technically, we're basically in another podcast at this point.
Well, anyway, what happened next?
Not much.
Since
Not
this
much.
guy didn't commit any crimes at all.
So we don't know for a fact that like he didn't block an ambulance. Maybe an ambulance was trying to get in that parking spot, and he just figured, I'll just pay a fine later. Someone could have died. We don't know, and that's the point. Rich and powerful.
I'm
Somebody's spinning yarns.
I'm starting to give Hulk Hogan the benefit of the doubt now.
I'm thinking he got to Mr. Ferguson, and he's driving Indian Rocks Baptist Church as part of his entire scheme. His whole wrestling career may have just been a scheme in his relentless pursuit of overtaking the state of Florida.
Florida is pretty great.
Yeah, Florida's the best.
I like Florida.
Where in Florida do you
I like Florida in general.
I like visiting Florida. I like the weather, and I like the orange juice. And then I realize, everything else.
No, Florida's great.
All right, these aren't exactly the results I was hoping to find, but we're making progress. We're digging. And I'll just say, when they find my body, it wasn't suicide. That's all.
I hope Hulk Hogan runs for mayor of Tampa.
Or Miami, I think. I'm a little concerned about this whole Miami-Tampa
but
thing.
Hulk Hogan seems like more of a Tampa guy.
Is he? Well, yeah, Miami's a little younger, isn't it? It skews a little younger.
Hulk Hogan hangs out in Tampa.
Tampa is probably where all the people that used to hang out in Miami go. And they put on their white pants and their wicker furniture.
I don't know, where are the villages?
That's going to be me. I want to do that. I want wicker furniture and white pants.
Yeah. I guess that's it. I'll keep an eye out for this because it's only a matter of time until Hulk says something crazy that it was a wall of flame that he had to battle through and all this kind of stuff. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. If anybody wants to,
what if because he became a Christian, like he was being humble before and now he's starting to tell the truth? What if it was some crazy thing
that he's humbled?
No, because he became like a Christian, he was told to be humble, right? So when he first started telling the story, he downplayed everything.
Okay. He was baptized before this accident, before the car flip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the fact that his story is becoming slightly more heroic as time goes on, and this is all happened post-baptism. Oh, so he's just becoming increasingly honest.
Because at first he wanted to downplay, but he's just like, lying's a sin.
Lying is a sin. That is true.
And he's just telling the truth. I bet all the things he says are true now.
Yeah, he's notoriously
I'm a Hulk
honest.
Hogan apologist.
You really are. Like
You're a Hulk truther?
Yeah.
We really went on a roller coaster ride here. So yeah, if anybody wants to try and get that accident report, because there's an accident report, feel free, reach out, be cool about it. Don't be weird. Don't make anyone
Send us the
uncomfortable.
photos of Hulk Hogan lifting the car over his head.
Yeah, I had AI generate some. I could not get. I'm sure like Midjourney could do it, but I wasn't paying for it. The free AI I was using could not get Hulk Hogan to actually pick up the car. I could get him standing on the car, leaning against the car, this or that. I could not get him actually like picking up a car.
I mean, that's pretty easy to make, though. You can just make that image.
Yeah,
you don't have to
I know,
have AI do it.
Well, if I have to when I make images, I get really meticulous about it. It takes me all day. So I can't just slap a head on it. So, Anyway, I'll continue keeping an eye on it. And I don't know, man, keep an eye on Hogan. Keep an eye out for the guy. Boss Hogan. That's it. That's all I got for the Hogan report. It's your bone.
Good for
You want
Hogan.
that on soundboard, Shée? Just I'm saying, it's your bone.
Yes.
Do you rather this?
China.
Both. Layer them over each other.
Them all. All right. Moving
What
on.
kind of question is that?
Also, why did you go ahead when you got that sound effect and made fucked up layered ones at the same time?
Because
What are you
it's
talking
great.
about? They sound exactly the same every time.
China.
Your ears might be going nuts. Your ears have lost their mind.
That's called. Was that called gaslighting?
Yep.
It's called gas lamping. It is always called gas lamping. Otherwise, you're
There
crazy.
are 4 lights.
All right.
You don't get that.
I don't.
People watch Star Trek got that joke. They're going right now.
Really?
They all went ha.
I don't watch enough Star Trek. I should watch more. Here's the deal. What we're looking at today is Metamorpho issue 4 from 1966. It's a book called The Awesome Escapades of the Abominable Playboy, written by Bob Haney, art by Ramona Fredon and Charles Paris. The reason I say this is noteworthy is, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Ramona Fredon's been in the news quite a bit this year. Number one, because in January she announced she was retiring at the age of 97, maybe?
Holy shit.
Yeah, and number two, she passed away in February.
Oh, no.
Well, in fairness, she lived to I've got it written down here. Let me check on this here. Yeah, she was born right here in Chicago, good old Chicago, in 1926. One of the first women in the comic book industry back when it was a boys' club and not the shining beacon of equity we see nowadays. So yeah, she announced that she was not going to work anymore in January, passed away a month later. She made it to 97, though. That's pretty good.
Well,
97.
she couldn't afford to retire. Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe not. Well, she stopped for a while in the 70s or late 60s because she had a daughter and everything.
Really?
I mean, you got to make money. Pretty meaningful life, pretty good life. She and Bob Haney, the writer here, actually co-created Metamorpho. I did not know that the two of them had actually
I love
co-created.
Metamorpho. He's got a great face.
He's got a great face. He's really cool. Bob Haney, for me, will always be the guy who gave Bruce Wayne a mentally unstable brother he had to take care of.
Yep.
So that's always the main thing I think about when I think of Bob Haney. But yeah, Ramona Fredon, really cool artwork. It's cartoony, but not that cartoony. It's definitely a character that works for them. If I have one criticism, it's that I think they kind of didn't realize what Metamorpho could do. I don't think they realized his potential a lot of times because he more or less, they keep treating him kind of like he's Plastic Man or Mr. Fantastic, just like a stretchy shape-shifting guy, but he's...
Yeah, he stretches into things, but then he just makes sure to tell you that of what it's made out of so it fits his theme.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like they had the idea and they understood that he's made of different elements that he can control, but then they kind of didn't know enough about science to really implement that. You know what I'm
probably
saying?
what happened.
I mean, I don't know.
He could turn himself into sodium pentothal and absorb himself into somebody's bloodstream to interrogate him or something like that. But
Maybe
he doesn't
know
do any
how
of
it
that.
goes together. Maybe it's like a recipe he has to keep straight in his head.
I'd be learning that shit if I were Metamorpho the Element Man.
Sounds like all he's worried about is poontang.
He is, he is simping. Yeah, more like Beta Morpho if you ask me. He's simping. He's simping pretty hard in this book.
Yeah, everybody is though.
Yeah, it's hard not to. But my point is that he keeps, a lot of what he does is just kind of shape-shifting, but then he'll say what element, he'll just make his hand into a big mitt, but he'll mention that it's like a lead mitt, and it's like, I'm utilizing the full extent of my powers. Like, yeah, but you just made a big hand. That's all you did.
So he should turn himself into Anthrax and just kill everybody.
He could do a lot of these things. He could magnetize himself and pull the people over based on the iron in their blood. Like, he could do all kinds of stuff, and he mostly just shapeshifts.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. But I do like the character. He does have a great face. He has like a noseless face where he's just got the two little slits. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the main strike I would have against this book. But I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it. Metamorpho is a dude we probably need to explain because I don't think people have seen him before too much. Hopefully in a year that'll change because he is being played by Anthony Carrigan in the new Superman movie.
He was great in Barry.
He was great. He was great. He was good as Mr. Zsasz in Gotham. He's a really good actor. And yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him yet on the set, but by the time this episode drops, we may have because they've been filming for like a month. So they most likely filmed a bunch of stuff with him already. So, but yeah, he's a dude who got in an accident. He was exposed to an artifact that turned his body into ever morphing chemicals, elements, which I guess all of our bodies are.
No way.
Except that he can control his, and he looks like a freak all the time. Mm-hmm. And the dude, Simon Stagg, who hired him to find that artifact, found out that he was dating his daughter and was so disgusted by this that he actually set in motion the plot to turn Metamorpho, well, actually try to kill him, but it ended up just turning him into a freak. So
A la Doom
there's
Patrol.
a lot of... yeah, a little bit of Niles Calder and Doom Patrol there.
But now they're all buddies and they go on wacky adventures.
Yeah, because he doesn't know that the guy who hired him also tried to get him killed and turn him into a freak.
Oh, really? No one told
You mean
him?
Daddykins?
Daddykins.
Yeah, Daddykins.
Yeah, I guess let's get into this thing here. The cover is It's not that bad. It's not that offensive.
So there's Simon Stagg, and I guess he has a caveman butler
Named Java.
named Java, and they're
Java
tied
or
up.
Hava?
Oh, I assumed it was Java, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is pronounced Hava.
So they're lined up against this wall, and behind him, in written in blood, it says "Viva el Metamorpho." Doesn't need the L. Like, you don't need that. It should just be "Viva Metamorpho."
Well, maybe they think that. Well, in fairness, it turned out that there were many Metamorphae. Like, he was not the only one. So.
Oh yeah, one wanted to die so bad in the Sandman comics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did that happen? I don't remember.
There was
that.
like a lady Metamorpho, and she just hated being a Metamorpho so much she begged Death to kill her.
In the mainstream continuity, at one point, she got released from her powers. I know that happened, but I don't know. I don't know what happened, if anything, since then. But yeah, they're at a firing squad. They've got what looks to be a Mexican firing squad. They're going to kill them.
Yeah, the
because
official outfit of the Mexican firing squad is sombreros.
a sombrero and a
Every single stereotype that you could hit is hit in this comic book.
yeah, they look like gauchos. Yeah,
Everyone
and,
in Mexico wears a sombrero every single day.
But honestly, that's kind of about as bad as it gets. It doesn't really get
the
worse than
national
that.
hat.
They could have. Sombrero actually is just Spanish for hat, by the way.
Yeah.
So in Mexico, they would just call every hat a sombrero.
Every hat has a sombrero. That'd be the new Darkseid Scout shirt.
Yeah, they put a little sombrero on.
Every hat
on
is a
Darkseid.
sombrero.
Yeah, somebody wants to whip that up for us.
I can do that. I know I will. I'm going to put the sombrero on Darkseid
I'm
Scout.
trying to engage people here.
I want to make that. I want to be the
Okay.
first to make that.
All right,
Boys, you're both pretty.
everybody else make something else, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah,
Mike
you
called
can-
dibs on Darkseid wearing a sombrero.
I'll give him a normal size sombrero, and then everyone send me Darkseid wearing a variety of different sized sombreros.
Oh, I was gonna say different hats. He could be wearing a toque or a chef's hat. He'd be wearing all kinds of fun
you know what?
things.
Yeah, okay. Since sombrero means hat.
Because it would say, they would apply to any hat that he happened to be wearing.
So yeah, but Metamorpho on the cover here is turning into Nickelodeon slime, and he
Yes.
uses that to absorb the bullets.
Yep, and he's getting in the way, and that's on the cover. It's a very kind of complicated cover to look at, honestly. It set you back 12 cents back in 1966.
Yep.
Do we need to cover this?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
There's an ad telling you to get a library card,
Yep.
and this little smug shit is showing off his library card. See, this is why nerds shouldn't be in charge of anything.
Nope.
He reminded me of like Mads Mikkelsen or however you pronounce
Yeah.
that guy's name that played Hannibal Lecter in the TV show.
Oh,
Mad's Lab.
yeah. Okay.
That child looks like he's going to eat you.
Yeah, he's so excited. He's got I got this library card.
He
I
looks
can borrow
like
anything.
he is pretending to have emotions.
Yes, he has a little Dennis Reynolds in him.
Look at him. He's just like, this is how I'm supposed to look when I feel excited or whatever.
Yeah, I've done that. I've tried that. I've practiced some looks in the mirror, make sure I got it
There's
right.
definitely, you gotta have a work personality.
Yeah,
Or it's not really you.
it's not. It really isn't.
But you're going like, yep. Like,
Yep,
I'm
this is
listening
me.
and carrying. I am professional.
And then eventually you feel like, dude, do I even have a soul?
Nope.
Because if I'm this person, then am I ever really myself? What is myself?
Yeah, what is yourself?
Oh, it's so hard.
It's like Total Recall.
It gets really hard. It gets really hard to understand.
Yeah,
when
well,
you're
living a
real
lie
person.
is, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, but I don't know what the truth is. I don't know. Like this person, this isn't the real me.
The truth
Which-
is, there is no truth.
Oh, it's so
There
hard.
is no you.
For real though, the library is pretty awesome. A lot of cool shit you can do at the library. It's not just
Yeah.
books. You
Nope.
can like use their 3D printers and all kinds of stuff.
Yep, to print out guns.
You have to print out a gun. That's the only thing they'll allow you to print out. The library will let you use their 3D printers for free, but you have to swear that you're printing out guns.
Guns only.
It's the weirdest policy.
Uh-huh.
That's what happens when you cut
Second
funding.
Amendment.
Yeah.
Hey, they can print out something dangerous.
Well, eventually they'll print out all the guns they could possibly print out, and then there'll be no more guns.
And keep cutting funding for stuff. Just do it. Cut all the funding.
Who cares? We don't need to just buy some more tanks.
Just
That's all
like,
we need.
all right, fuck it. Because clearly that's the end goal, right? Is eventually nothing will be funded. Just do it now.
You know what? I give them some credit. They fix all the infrastructure in Colorado and fix all those lead pipes so kids aren't drinking lead water anymore.
All right, that's good.
Give them some credit for that, like a little
That's
bit
good.
of credit.
I just learned like New York City can't build anymore despite having a housing crisis because their sewer system is already overtaxed.
Wow.
So they
Holy
can't
cow.
build anymore because if they do, the sewers will flood the city.
New York is definitely a city that is just aching to just be destroyed, to be sacked.
Dude, right? Where's
like
the Stay
Rome.
Puft Marshmallow Man?
I mean,
Yeah,
Chicago is full of tons of lead pipes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
there isn't a lot of work to be done. I'm just saying, could be worse.
I feel like Chicago's doomed as well.
I guess I don't know. I guess I really don't know. I don't know, man.
Maybe I think
love
the
Chicago.
country and just Western civilization in general is pretty doomed.
I don't know, man. I see good and bad, and I guess it depends on because the cynicism hasn't gotten us anywhere. Thinking
No,
everything
well,
is
I mean,
it's
I don't
not
know.
done anything. Like it's
It's not
protected
supposed
me.
to. You're being cynical.
Well, that's like it protected me as a kid to be cynical and hate everything. And I was like, oh wait a minute, this got me to adulthood, but it didn't make me happy. So
No.
maybe I need to look at things differently.
I don't know. Yeah, but just be happy despite it all.
No, and I'm not saying just be. I'm saying there's you got 8 billion people in this world. They're not all
Got
doing evil
Mr.
shit.
James, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
No, he's
up.
right.
What the fuck did that have to do with
James,
anything?
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, it's
quit,
just-
quit your crying and go to work. for
There's
sure.
a lot of. Oh, I hate when you agree with me. I hate that so much. I need that clip from Always Sunny when Dennis Reynolds speaking of tells Frank, "Don't agree with me. I hate when you're on my side."
So here, like Metamorpho, the Elephant Man. Here he's a plastic man like Matador.
This is just a splash telling us what's coming up, and he becomes a matador, and he's just kind of stretching himself around. Seems like he could use his powers to stop this bull another way, but
Here we see, he could turn into some kind of knockout gas and just like go inside his nostrils and his lungs.
yeah, or he could ask the badger to help out. Badger, that guy
Who
knows
talks
exactly how to
to-
deal with this stuff.
Yeah, horned animals. Here we see our lineup. We got Rex Mason, El Metamorpho Magnifico. And below him is Simon Stagg, El Genius Fantastico. Oh, they're positive by him.
True. Yeah.
All right. And here we see Sapphire Stagg, La Chick Terrifico.
Nice.
Java El Bonehead Stupendo?
Stupendo. Yeah,
Cha Cha Chavez El Villano Fabuloso.
Well, he says so. Java is El Bonehead Stupendo, which I believe means stupendous. Do you think they were trying to say as stupido?
Yeah, that's why I got thrown off. I'm like, does that say stupendo? That can't be right.
Well, you could also say he's a stupendous bonehead, as in he's very, very
that's true.
boneheaded. So they may have caught themselves accidentally on this. I don't know.
We don't
But
know.
yeah,
It's like
I don't
Hulk
know.
Hogan.
yeah. It's just look. You lie enough, and eventually some of those things are going to turn out to be true.
Yeah, we don't know.
Who knows? So we open up at the Stag Mansion.
Yeah, who has masked goons guarding the mansion?
They do look like Cobra Commander soldiers.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know
He can
why.
afford not one, but two Cobra Commanders.
Woo-hoo.
Can you imagine
And,
the expense?
Well, they're very expensive, especially at this time.
Can you imagine you go to Cobra Commander, like, I want to hire you to be my personal house security. He's like, what? I'm not doing that. And he gives him the money. He's like, all right, I'm also going to need you to hire another guy.
I just need you to make a couple extra masks. Like, nobody's going to know it's not the real you.
Wait, is that Cobra Commander's voice?
Yes, this
Yes,
is how
yeah.
Cobra Commander
Well, because he turned out to be a
talks.
snake man. He turned out to be a snake Cobra man.
I had a dark fantasy where I would create a terrorist group and then set off a nuclear weapon in the Middle East and then go on TV dressed as Cobra Commander and say Cobra. Hey, you have Cobra from the cartoon. Take credit for it, and then disband, and then just disappear into the ether, and let the
Okay.
world just mull over that.
Okay, that's kind of like a Max Headroom.
That's what I
hijacking
was
that
thinking
signal.
too.
It's called culture jamming. If anybody wants to go on a deep dive and look up culture jamming, you can find instances of like that. Inside Stag Mansion, we see that Sapphire Stag, who is a babe, no points off there. She is telling Metamorpho, I want to get married to you. I love you more than ever. And Metamorpho is saying, well, no, we can't get married until I fix the way I look because I'm a freak.
And she
I don't-
just says over and over and over again, I like how you look.
Yeah, she says, I don't care. It's totally fine. I mean,
Like, first of all, he's still built.
He still looks great. He's
Dude, if you're
supposedly-
if you're tall and built, it doesn't really matter how ugly you are.
Huh. That's an interesting preposition. I think you might be right.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot, like, all those NBA players. Like, not all of them are.
Well, they're also rich, so that's, you know.
Well, so's Metamorpho.
No, her dad is rich. He doesn't have shit.
Oh, and he pisses her dad off.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Are you kidding me?
That might be the main reason she likes him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he just won't go for it.
And he's a
which is-
superhero. What is his problem?
I don't know. It is odd.
He's vain, is what's going on.
I think he just doesn't want their wedding pictures to look ugly in the wedding pictures.
You're looking this way forever, bro. Like, all your pictures are
Well,
going to be that way.
Metamorpho is of the belief that Simon Stagg is working on a cure. He's really not.
Why
because
would he want one?
Well, I don't want to look like a freak.
Dude, he looks awesome.
I'm not. I don't think he looks awesome. He's got 4 different tones to his body. 5 behind his skull.
I think you and I differ here. Like, I will definitely take a disfigurement if it meant I could be some kick-ass, superpowered dude.
Well, you know, I guess there is a point of like, how does this ruin his day-to-day life? And I'm not sure that it does, other than
Does
being
his dick
ugly.
still work? Does he still have one?
I don't know. He wears little briefs. It's hard to
I
tell.
mean, she's clinging to him, so clearly he's got something.
Yeah, dude, she looks great. But anyway, so he rejects her and says, you know, we're
Idiot.
gonna have to wait. He is kind of being an idiot here.
And there's like that. Here we see Bonehead just listening in and jacking off.
So Java is listening because in all of this, poor sweet Java, this big dunce, he wants to also get with Sapphire. But he has nothing to offer. He's nothing to offer.
I don't know. He's like he's a beast.
He's literally dragging his knuckles in this panel.
Yeah,
like, what's
he's
his
Quasimodo.
deal?
What's his deal? He's Simon's assistant.
I know, but he like mentions that he's a caveman.
Oh, he does mention being like 500,000 years old. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine that he literally is a caveman that Simon Stagg abducted from some previous adventure.
Oh, he's a Chad. Why is he hanging around with Simon Stagg? Go be a UFC fighter, caveman.
Dude, Simon Stagg apparently knows how to talk.
Look how long his arms are.
And because he's in love with what's her face.
You
Yeah, he's in
really
love with
make her
Sapphire.
love him when he's the world heavyweight boxing champion.
Yes, that's true. Simon Stagg knows how to talk, and he's convinced Metamorpho to do his bidding, and he's convinced Java to hang out. Like he's I don't know.
This is a wacky bug.
So Metamorpho is sort of caught between being a simp and just being a what's the opposite of a? No, he's not being a Chad at all. He's got no.
I mean, he is a
Chadliness to him at
Chad
all.
though.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck between simp and Chad, isn't he?
Like, look at all the shits she starts just to get him to do what she wants.
She's gonna start a ridiculous plot shortly. So Metamorpho goes to Simon Stagg and says, "Hey, how's that cure going? I'm kind of sick of like running errands for you, and I kind of want to bang your daughter." Mm-hmm. And he says, "Just don't worry about it. I'm getting around to it.
He's still banging her. He's banging her in all new Metamorpho ways.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if he has a penis, but he can do anything with the rest of
I'm
his
just
body.
saying,
So.
he may not be coming up with these ideas, but she is.
yeah, she's gonna know what's gonna work for her.
Look at her. Look at she's in that room right now thinking about it. I'm gonna have him turn into this and then go in my pussy.
Good God.
I don't think women think like that. At least not that bluntly. I think there's a little more elegance to it. All right. Kind of derailed everything there. So Sapphire's alone in her room, and she's playing with a toy. She's got this little weird toy of like a man, like an alpine man with a stick, and then a little gesture guy, and the gesture guy kicks the alpine man. Mm-hmm. I really don't understand why, but this will become important later.
Mm-hmm. Because
It's a
whoever
German
made this,
thing.
yeah, like they just think guys get kicked in the ass is funny.
I mean, they're not wrong. You know?
I guess they're notoriously not humorous.
So I've heard that, but I've also heard that they're so dry and blunt that you just don't get it when they are being humorous. But
I mean, the language is harsh.
The language is very harsh. Patton Oswalt, our favorite comedian, Darkseid's Couch official comedian, he has a bit about like being in Germany and trying to make jokes, and the Germans just did not understand it. And every time he would make a joke about something, they would go, "Oh, no, actually," and they would explain in factual detail why his joke was wrong.
Oh my God! What? God, keep me away from fucking Germany, dude.
Yeah. They're proud people. They're hardworking, industrious, intelligent.
Everybody
people.
is. Every people is proud and hardworking and industrious. All of them are.
There's definitely some lazy people.
Oh
in
yeah,
this
which
world.
ones?
Let me think about that for a second, because I know who can I pick on.
Nobody, bro.
Maybe somebody in Scandinavia. Maybe
No,
a very
they're the best.
specific. Scandinavians are pretty cool too. Every
I guess
nation's
they're
great.
having guess they're having a huge housing crisis over there too, though.
Oh, that's too bad. That's the place to go. Finland is the place to go if you want
Nah,
no
dude, they
corruption.
got like a month of darkness. Like, I'm good.
They had so Finland apparently. I don't know if this is still true, but it probably is. It was true for many years. They have like the least corrupt government in the world and the highest rate of like overall happiness for their
I
citizens.
bet their corrupt government made that.
Yeah, they just made it's actually the most corrupt government.
Yeah, I bet that sounds like propaganda.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
If China
China.
wrote that, you would be like, listen to this
Yeah.
propaganda.
Or like the police investigated themselves and didn't find anything wrong.
Yeah, the
Internal
police do it.
investigation.
The
Fuck
police
you,
do love to
internal
investigate themselves.
investigation.
It's pretty cool.
Dude.
All right, so Sapphire decides she's going to put into play something called Operation Jealous Lover, and this is the point where they both become assholes.
Here we see Simon Stagg keeps a pet snake that he uses to strangle his caveman randomly.
Right, he's got a giant snake, and that's not a euphemism. And so this python goes ahead and strangles Java, and it's going to kill him, and I guess Simon doesn't care. Yeah,
Python
whatever.
strangles Java.
Oh, that's a coding joke. That's a joke that's not going to make any sense soon because don't bother learning code now. It's not important
that
anymore.
is not true. That is not true.
I did an AI conference recently, and the dude was very explicit. Like, if you're a kid nowadays, do not learn code. There is not going to be anything for you to do in 20 years.
No, someone needs to know. You can't. You need to check
You
AI's
need to
code.
check it. You need to check it, but that's not going to be a lucrative job. It's going to exist because somebody needs to check it, but nobody's going to pay
All
you.
that needs to be checked. You cannot leave that up to AI to just do it. You
But
have to check it.
But if it was a well-paying job, then they wouldn't even bother with the AI. Would just have the person do it. The fact that AI is going to do it means it's going to save a lot of money, which means that less money is going to that coder.
Oh yeah, they are going to do that. They'll do whatever it takes to save money. I'm just saying, like, that's going to cause a lot of issues when like AI breaks something and no one knows how to fix it.
Yeah, right. That's true. And you're going to need to have somebody overlooking that, but it is not going to be a lucrative.
This is how you get that movie. You know that movie everyone likes to quote when society gets a little worse?
Oh,
The Matrix?
idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Oh.
You like if things are too easy, both physically and mentally, like that's how you're going to get a really bad civilization.
I don't think it's going to make it that easy. I think people just need to adjust the way they think of things. Why are you defending obsolete coding jobs?
No, you definitely continue to learn to code. Like,
Don't
that's
learn to
gonna be
code.
Everything.
Get them. No. What's going to be more important is understanding how to work with AI. Get a Mid-Journey subscription and learn Mid-Journey and learn those things instead. That's what you need to
Who's
do.
going to program the AI?
It's machine learning. It's
It's
like you
gonna
don't
program itself
program
forever
it.
and ever and ever. No,
Well,
dude.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, it's not going to be an industry of people. It's going to be a few people doing what used to take thousands of people.
You know what you need to do is sewer maintenance because New York City is going to.
I was going to say, just
expand.
learn to
important.
trade.
Yeah.
Just fuck
You know what I was
this
thinking
and
about?
learn to trade.
I was thinking about, like, we all think we know what the sewers look like from TV shows and cartoons and stuff, but I'm like, I realized if I were actually to remove a manhole cover or a grate, I don't know what it looks like under
It's a
there.
river of poo. and
That's what I'm
pee.
like. Is it really just that river of poo down the
Yeah,
middle?
that's what his sewer system is.
I mean,
That's
I
why
know
the
it-
turtles are gross.
I know it fundamentally is that, but I'm saying, like, immediately, like right in the street. Is there just a river of poo right underneath?
Yeah, it's
Or-
like Ghostbusters too.
Or do you have to move around a little bit? I don't know.
Bro.
Is there a service tunnel? I don't really know what it looks like. How tall is it? Can I stand up tall?
I mean, these are all Googleable.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's a
well-
Dirty Jobs episode.
Yeah.
Remember that,
yeah.
huh? You guys remember Dirty Jobs?
I remember Mike Rowe, yeah.
That guy.
That
Isn't he
guy.
a conservative douchebag now, despite being a part of two
Um,
unions.
I don't think he's because I've watched some of his interviews and everything. I don't think he's a conservative douchebag. I do think he's a little right leaning, but I don't think he's a Trumper.
I've only seen like the left wing memes, and they use that guy.
Well, because every side, if you don't adhere to your side 100%, they fucking hate you.
And we all know
I think
the
that's
left
all
can't
that is.
meme.
Left can't meme, unfortunately. That is true. The left cannot meme.
It's too hard.
It is fucking hard. It's
Listen to this
hard.
fucking lefty crybaby. It's too hard.
It's pretty hard when you're wrong about everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're a conservative or you're right wing, you can be really mean in your meme, and the left can't be that mean.
And we like to be that cynical. We're that cynical that we respond to that meanness. And
Yeah,
so
we do. We grit our teeth a little bit. We go, yeah, that's funny.
That's why the right can meme.
Yeah, dude. That's
All right.
me listening to Alex Jones, just gritting my teeth, like, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to agree, but I do. So the next day, Metamorpho goes to Sapphire with some flowers because he wants to apologize, but Operation Jealous Lover is in full effect, and she's hanging out with a dude named Reggie.
Yeah,
instead.
Reggie sucks.
Reggie's a piece of shit. We
Yeah.
only see Reggie for 2 panels and then never again.
It looks like he's smoking a pipe, wearing like a golf hat, and he's got an eye patch.
And he's got a car that doesn't have doors.
No, dude, what is that called? That's a specific type of car that rich guys drove.
I don't know, man. It seems dangerous.
The car without
Ridiculously dangerous.
doors, I think it was called.
Good reference.
It went under because they couldn't fit all the words on the emblem in the back of the car, and nobody knew what it was.
It's the car without doors. I don't know what to tell you. It looks like the wheels are kind of falling off.
The wheels are falling off. They got a bag of golf clubs in there. It looks like they're going to play
Got a bag
golf.
of shit in there. No, he is wearing a
All right.
golf hat though, so that makes sense. That
Yeah, I guess they're going golfing on their date, and so she's just trying to make Metamorpho angry.
and he gets so mad he changes the chemical composition of his flowers so they die.
He kills. Yeah, so he actually uses his power appropriately.
So he has the power of life and death.
I guess he kind
Technically,
of does,
since
right?
he's the element man, right?
I think the only thing is, I think he's limited. Like he can't stretch himself, metaphorically infinitely. He only has so many atoms to work with. I think.
But he can turn himself into a toxic material that kills.
Yes, he can.
So he can emanate some kind of radiation.
I would imagine he could. Yeah.
So
I
he
would imagine
can
he could.
just really be a terrible monster.
And that's what the thing is. I don't think they necessarily make the most of it. I don't think he should be a terrible monster, but I think they don't make the most of his abilities. In this
I would
book,
blackmail the whole world.
but- Yeah.
But you also just talked about wanting to drop a nuclear bomb and fuck up the whole world just for
Yep.
funsies.
Yeah. Just for
Yeah,
his
that's
trolling.
like a dark
yeah.
fantasy I had. And if I could make it happen, would I do it? Who knows? Who knows?
So forget about Reggie. We're never going to see Reggie again.
Nope.
The next day,
Reggie died on his way back to his home planet.
the next day, the whole thing plays out again. But this time, instead of Reggie, Sapphire's got another dude named Cha-Cha Chavez.
You think so? Like here, like Cha-Cha Chavez, like he's driving this giant car that has a bull's head on the front of it, and they almost run down Metamorpho.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe that she told him to do it.
Because Cha-Cha Chavez doesn't know that Metamorpho won't be killed by that.
Right, and he wouldn't normally do that, but he is trying to get this girl, and she's like, "Hey, try to run down Metamorpho."
Fucking asshole.
That's why she's like, "Olay!" Ha, ha,
Yeah, she's having a
ha."
great time. And this is a little foreshadowing to how the book ends too, with the bullfight thing. But yeah, they pull
Hey,
up.
guys, you guys something? Did you guys hate Sapphire in this book?
Yeah.
I kind of hated her.
She is definitely hateable, but that ass though.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's worth it. I'm looking at the like Metamorpho and his powers. I would just like leave.
Crazy
it's one of
hot
those-
scale isn't
Yeah.
working here.
Like he doesn't need to be here.
I think it's one of those situations where, of course, she's gonna be fucked up. Her father's a lunatic.
Does he think like this is the only girl who will have him? Like, what's his problem?
He may be right about that. Like,
No.
I don't know.
Look how tall he is.
That is true. That is a big trump card. I don't know. I guess-
China.
China.
So no, she's unlikable. She's certainly unlikable. That's. But she doesn't really feel like a full character, so I guess I don't have any strong emotions because she doesn't really feel. She just feels like a plot device.
So this is the thing, right? Now that we know that when Metamorpho feels a certain way, he has the power to kill life.
Yeah, he could.
So he's telling her like, "Hey, you can't be with me till I'm normal again." So that's pretty responsible. But she's also pissed. Like, I don't care. I love you. Let's get married. So he's in the wrong right there. Like, she's an adult.
There
who's
are no right
consenting.
people here.
Okay.
Like this. Like he loves her. She loves him. And she's like, "I'll marry you." And he's like, "I can't. I'm a monster." And she knows damn well her dad ain't working on nothing.
Yeah, she has to be able to put that together. I mean, it's a toxic relationship for sure.
Yeah, and more, that's like the toxicity that can
Literally.
emanate from Metamorpho in general.
She might already have cancer because of him.
Like
For all we
so
know.
here, like she's like laying it on thick, and There's a scene here where it looks like Metamorpho is just like pumping out radiation.
Yeah, he's trying to force hair to grow on his head. He's bald.
I do that.
Yeah, if you just concentrate hard enough, maybe squeeze out a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. They're like, oh, no, you need minoxidil and finasteride. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going to like wish for it really hard.
Like a fucking Play-Doh person?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, like a chia pet. Like a chia guy.
Yeah,
Do you remember those Play-Doh people?
I do.
Maybe if you
Press
wear
down
tight enough
over.
clothing, it'll just squeeze something out of your head. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, in order to impress Sapphire, Cha-Cha Chavez has a bunch of planes fly overhead, dropping roses and flowers.
Yep.
And apparently they're dropping enough to drown everyone.
Yeah, but they have to escape. And
They have to
Metamorpho
escape.
turns into a ladder.
Because you can't crush flowers.
It's a weird sequence of events. Metamorpho he makes a point of mentioning that's a magnesium ladder so that you don't feel like he's not making the most out of his abilities. But really, he just turned into a ladder like Plastic Man might.
Yeah, well, you think aluminum would have been
Yeah, well,
a
I mean,
little better there. Maybe you can't do aluminum yet.
magnesium might be lighter. I'm not sure.
I mean,
But they-
aluminum's pretty fucking light.
Yeah, it's
Well,
light.
so is magnesium. I don't know, man. I like Metamorpho. I'm trying to explain this.
They use aluminum to make the spacecraft that they made up.
Oh, the fake spaceship that goes into fake space and pretends to land on the moon? Yeah. So they get up on the roof, and Simon Stagg's like, dude, that's pretty awesome. I like that you did that. Not turn into a ladder. I like that Cha-Cha Chavez buried my mansion in flowers. I think that's cool.
A lot of compost.
Yeah, I guess it's biodegradable. So, yeah. So Simon says, you know what? This dude can marry my daughter. That's fine.
He's like, this guy's rich, unlike you, Metamorpho, huh?
Yeah, this man
fucking
cares
poor.
about not his daughter. He cares about money.
So, as a guy who has dated like super rich ladies, that is 100% true. Like the fathers only want their daughters to marry guys as rich as them.
When you're wealthy, it is definitely protecting your legacy.
No, because they don't want fucking losers in their gene pool. That's what that is. They want winners who can make money to be in the gene pool.
I think it's all part of the rich tapestry of, keeping up appearances.
Like, you're a fucking bum, forget it.
Don't you
I mean,
wanna
they
die-
were right to not like
Yeah.
me. 100%.
Don't you want to die poor? Like, you want to be rich, but you want to die poor.
I want to die losing blood from having my nose crushed from being in a fight.
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to arrange that.
Like that's how men used to die.
Yeah.
With the fossil records of like ancient humans, they're all like blunt force trauma.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, men used to just die.
Dude.
That used to be the main thing that men did. They were born fully formed as adults. They were never babies or children.
Yeah, they're not cave babies. They're cavemen.
They were cavemen. They were
All
born.
right.
They were born full grown, and then they would almost immediately die. And that was
Maybe
what a
that's-
man was.
Maybe that's why all the men are anxious and sad now. Because like we're still alive.
Yeah, we're
We
supposed to
didn't- we
die.
didn't- Yeah, we didn't die in a pointless fight.
Yeah, you were supposed to die a while ago, dude.
Yeah, right. What are you doing?
What are you doing hanging around? All
Who are
right,
you? You're like a man over 35, and people are looking at you like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, you shouldn't have been sticking around that long. Should
That
have
would
been
be
gone
like the
by now.
equivalent of like living in your parents' basement. You're
Yeah,
still
living
alive.
at all. Yeah, the world is your parents' basement after 35. The
Maybe
fact that
things
you
would
even
be
hear
so
it all
fucked
is
up
sad.
if we didn't have these old men in government.
Yeah.
Because they'd be dead.
Yeah, we need to let the women get old,
Mm-hmm.
and men need to die young.
Yes.
That's the,
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yes.
I'll send that off to RFK Jr. as a political platform.
The official presidential candidate of Darkseid's couch.
Don't fucking say that.
RFK Jr.
Yeah, spoiler candidate RFK Jr. He's not that bad.
I was pissing my dad off because like my dad's like, that guy's crazy, and I'm like, why? He goes, because his family says so. Like, I mean, like what? His kids? Like who? Who's his family? And he gets all
yeah.
mad at me because I'm asking him follow-up questions.
Not all of his beliefs are crazy. It's just the ones he does have that are crazy are extra crazy.
Hey, the government killed his uncle and dad.
Yeah, that's gonna fuck you up a little bit.
Okay, and he's running despite that.
Yeah, but then like every other Kennedy took a picture with Biden fairly recently.
I don't care. That's not an endorsement for them to me.
Speaking of presidents, actually, everybody gets in a helicopter. They get in Cha-Cha Chavez's helicopter. I don't know why Metamorpho is going. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get a lot of words out, okay? I don't want the episode to go too long. And they get in... They're heading off on some sort of trip. Metamorpho's coming along. He's pouting. And Cha-Cha Chavez flies up to Mount Rushmore and sees that they've added Sapphire's head to Mount Rushmore.
Right.
And she looks like she's fucking terrified.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe they kidnapped her first.
Yeah.
Because this means like this would have had to have been made months or even years in advance.
It looks like Thomas Jefferson has turned her into a chair. Like I'm just gonna sit right on this bitch.
Yeah, right. It's a sapphire chair.
So Metamorpho's like, well, that's pretty fucked up right there. Like
He's like, I don't like that, and he turns into a drill.
Yes,
and
well,
writes a mean message.
he's a proud patriot.
He's a fucking tagger.
He's like,
Yeah. No. He turns into a drill and he carves Metamorpho C, cha-cha no. And then everybody laughs, finds it funny. But then we get a little caption that actually says he erased it afterwards.
Yeah, he erased it.
It's like a deface on national
Because he
monument.
looks at it and he's like, I look like an idiot.
Pretty fucking...
Someone's just like, simp.
Yeah.
Not.
So they get on his yacht. Again, I don't know why Metamorpho is coming along for all of this. but-
Because he is a sucker.
Remember that what used to happen like in high school and the girl
Yep.
you date, the girl you liked is dating somebody else and like
Yep.
invite you to a party.
Uh-huh.
And you just have to sit there and watch her with the
You
boyfriend.
sure do.
Oh.
Yeah, she wants to be friends.
That's
That's something
how
people needed to learn early is like you need to be okay with telling people, I don't want to be friends.
Yeah,
I wanted
not-
to date you.
Not good enough for me. That's how cucks are born. That's where cucks come from. Whatever. I don't care what you do. Be a cuck. I don't care.
No, don't. It's sad.
I don't know how I feel about that
I want
because on the
people to
one
be
hand,
happy.
I mean, in their way, it's making them happy. So on
I
the one
want
hand,
people
it's
to
like,
die by 35 in a pointless fight so they'll be happy.
I don't know. People do what you want to do, but maybe I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't have a firm position on the cuck thing.
Maybe like at the age of 35, right? If you're still alive, the UFC will now just be 35-year-old guys and they have to fight to the death because they're too old.
What is this fucking Hunger Games shit you're coming up with?
I'm just letting you know what men desire, Shée.
But we've got men in their
Death?
70s. We've got men in their 70s still fighting. We've got
Right.
that.
Right.
So it's not
That's
that big of
true.
a. It's not
True.
that strange anymore.
I can't wait to see Mike Tyson kill that guy.
I think it's. When does it happen? It may have already happened. But I
No,
don't
it's
know.
happening soon.
Okay. So on the yacht, we see that Cha-Cha Chavez is flirting with Sapphire, and Metamorpho just crosses his arms and stares.
It's
Right, why
like
is
a
it-
Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Why doesn't
I
he just turn
realized.
into nerve gas and kill Cha-Cha Chavez?
Well, he suspects something's up, so I guess he feels the need to investigate instead of just murdering.
And now, like, here, Java is trying to console him by, like, see, this is how I felt about you.
Yeah, Java's trying to act like they're in the same boat, and Metamorpho's like, dude, no.
I was actually up in that.
Yeah, I got my
Yeah.
chance. I fucked it up. You never had a chance. And that's actually the end of the part one of
That's
this
the end of the book.
That's just Metamorpho and Java killed themselves,
Yeah.
and that was the end.
Yeah.
No, that was the end of part one. It's broken
Yeah,
into three
won't,
parts.
like, what does, like, Metamorpho care? Won't he outlive all these people?
He probably will, but I mean, I guess he's hoping that medical science will allow Sapphire to live indefinitely as well.
Yeah, guys, she'll turn into that, and he'll be like, oh, I don't want that now.
Well, again, medical science will hopefully keep her young, keep her vibrant.
He's just like, you look like me.
Maybe he'll use his ability to cryogenically store her most of the day, like 23 hours out of the day, and then just hang out with her for an hour and slow her aging.
So if Stag keeps Metamorpho around because he wants to use his powers, and Stag is responsible for him turning into this, why doesn't he just do the same thing to himself? Then he doesn't need Metamorpho anymore.
Because he doesn't want to turn into a freak. He's not tall enough to get away with looking like Metamorpho.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He can't be short and ugly.
Cannot.
No. Although he's rich, so he's got the third component. But you need to have at least two.
You know, it's like sometimes like when guys are short, they'll like get all bodybuildery and like tough guy, but they're still just short.
Yeah.
I think people are underestimating the power of the funny little guy.
Well, you got to have one of those things going.
Like, be a funny little guy because that will work. That'll work way more than the
Oh
short
yeah,
guy
lots of hot women
overcompensating.
have gotten with funny little men.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Kevin James pulling it in. I don't know.
Yeah,
who's
like
married
it's
to.
the Gomez Adams kind of deal. Like if you're a funny little guy, you can like pull
Yeah.
in some like top tier.
Yeah, I don't think Gomez Adam was trying to be funny though. I think he just turned out that way.
Oh, he was like he was a funny but he was a funny little guy. He's not
Dude, he-
may not necessarily be funny.
Yeah,
He's just
I
a
get
funny
ya.
little guy.
Quirky. Yeah, but he got the original goth babe.
Dude, he sure did.
Oh,
Good for
man.
him. With charm
Wow.
and he did it and he simped but by looking like unsimpy.
He did like
Yeah.
a bit out of it. Yeah.
Like he made
his-
it. He like that's how you do that.
Well, because he went beyond simp. That is beyond.
You have to have a romantic passion. Like, that's the
Yes.
only way to get past simping.
Yeah.
I will fight to the death for you, like that kind of thing.
Obsession. Like,
I'm driven mad by
A
your
little
beauty.
unhinged. Yeah. Not really the mentally most
Yeah,
stable thing to
Morticia
do,
was
but that's
all
what you
about
gotta
that.
do.
She's like, damn right. I
Fuck
deserve
yeah.
to be worshipped.
Yeah, I want to look down on my man. Fuck
Some
yeah.
women are like that, dude. Funny little guy, dude.
Yeah.
Beats not getting it.
So this is when things start to get a little more complicated in the plot because someone is launching a torpedo at Cha-Cha's yacht. Right.
Metamorpho turns into just like a barrier.
A paravane, which is it's a device that boats would tow behind that would like cut the connection to the mines, to landmines, or to not landmines, I guess, water mines.
He doesn't really need to turn into anything, though.
cut
No.
the connection.
Yeah, there's like I think the mines are like they're kind of floating, and if something kind of were to cut the wire connecting it, it'll keep them from detonating, something like that.
So can he only turn into objects that already exist, or
See-
is he just using that as a template?
Yeah, I think it's a template. I don't think he's that creative, and so he's got to use things that already are out there.
Because he like all he needs to do is just harden his body by
Yeah.
turning into another element and then take any kind of shape he wants.
Well, I would think he would be able to even move the yacht out of the way somehow.
And is
like, just-
he limited to his body mass?
That's the thing is, I would assume yes, but he stretches himself quite a bit.
Well, you can do that. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's going to be weaker.
Well, like I said, I think he is limited to the amount of atoms composing his body.
I see.
I think. I could be wrong, but I
so
think.
how does eating and pooping?
I'm assuming he doesn't have to do either.
Yeah.
Photosynthesis, maybe.
Oh yeah.
He just takes in light, you know?
Or I would assume he absorbs the chemistry and the elements from things around him.
Yeah.
It absorbs the elements. I don't know that that's a thing.
Sure it is.
Well, that's what we're doing by eating.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm breaking them down and absorbing their nutrients.
Well, maybe he can do that.
Yeah, maybe he
but
can.
But he's breaking down their atomic structure.
Oh, he's definitely radioactive then. He's definitely
Yeah.
killing everyone around him.
Well, he's turning into any element he wants. A lot of elements are radioactive.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's definitely a danger to everyone around him.
Yeah,
Maybe-
he needs a Geiger meter.
Maybe he was right. He was right. He was right to
Just
call
get
off
outta
the
here.
wedding.
So the torpedo hits him in paravane's state, and he actually explodes, but he manages to keep the yacht from being hit. And this causes Metamorpho to... So he's at some point in this explosion, he reverts back to his normal body, but his body has been cut up into multiple pieces,
Right.
which is... I don't know when that happened, but okay.
But I guess when he got blown up, he just put himself back together best he can, I suppose.
Yep, and they put him in a sombrero. They went down below deck.
It
And
looks like he's trying to fold him up into a giant taco.
yeah, it's pretty good. He'd be delicious. And so Simon Stagg reassembles him. They've got all the tools on the yacht to reassemble him, and he's back to normal, and he's fine. But Metamorpho says, well, I'll take this opportunity to turn into a gas, which is one of the few times he really starts to take advantage of what it means to be an element man.
Right? Wasn't he just staying gas form all the time?
I would be.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He's a gas as far as I'm concerned. I love this guy.
And he turns into a gas and then sneaks into that girl's room.
He does, because he's a creep.
Yep.
First of all, he sees that there's a bunch of weapons being stored on the ship, and he wonders what that's about.
He's like, hey, he probably just works for the CIA.
And then he figures, well, I'm already here. I might as well go creep on Sapphire's room.
Go jack off on her pillow and then turn the pillow around.
Yes. Classic move.
Classic
What the
Metamorpho.
Classic Metamorpho.
That's right, Shée. That's what any man you let in your house, that's what they do immediately.
They do.
Immediately.
Yeah, never let a
Immediately.
man in your home. They'll
It's
jack off on your
immediately.
pillowcases.
I've done it dozens of times at least.
Yeah, they're driven like
Ugh.
it's an instinctual drive, like a bird traveling south.
Yeah, it's like when a cat rubs against something to claim it as ownership. Yeah.
Cat doesn't know why it's doing it.
Just doing it because it has to do it.
Because it has to.
You're being a bigot to say a guy shouldn't do that.
right.
Have a problem with that. So Metamorpho sees in Sapphire's room that one of Chavis's men is playing with that toy that Sapphire was playing with earlier, that weird German toy, and inside found a little piece of paper. Don't know what that's about, right?
Before Metamorpho can find out, he hears a ruckus happening on deck, and there is an airplane firing a machine gun at everyone.
And so rather than maybe like, I don't know, he could magnetize himself and pull the plane down or reflect it away, he just decides to turn himself into a shield.
What if that's hard to do?
I
Yeah,
guess
he
it's-
is not creative.
Man, what if it's just hard too hard?
Yeah, he doesn't really want to do any of this.
I mean, like, I bet. What if it's like the strain is just too much to like make these complicated shapes and taking these complicated elements?
Yeah, well, you got to be a hero, man. Takes a lot. Takes a lot to be a hero.
I can see why he wants to be normal again.
Now you're starting to warm up to him.
I was too hard on him.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like how difficult this could be.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could just let everybody die.
What if he never sleeps? What if he has to like maintain his like corporeal form,
Or he'd fall apart. If
or
he
he fall
slept.
apart?
Mike, I don't know if you need to smoke more weed or less weed, but there needs something
better
needs to
weed.
happen.
It's like I got some of that good. So Metamorpho saves everybody, and Cha-Cha was hiding under a boat, and they kind of make a joke about the fact that he wasn't a very protective guy. But Sapphire pretends like she doesn't care because she's just trying to make Metamorpho jealous.
Yeah, but now she likes Java because he took a bullet for her.
Psych.
Well, he didn't take a bullet. Oh wait, no, Java. You mean Java? Yeah, Java did take a bullet.
Java take a bullet, and she's like, "Thank you so much," and then she goes back to her guy.
Yeah, she helps dress the wound, and then she's fucking out of there. Yep.
Yep. She got her
So-
fucking bits on from the Simps or whatever, the
Yeah.
OnlyFans money.
Little dopamine fix. Yeah. So then they arrive at Cha-Cha's estate, and he's got a sprawling estate in Mexico, right?
He's like, I got this money by giving cocaine to the CIA to sell.
Yes, by working with George Bush.
Have you heard of this guy, George Bush?
This guy is going places, I tell you. Well, it's actually, we find out that Cha-Cha is friends with the apparently corrupt leader of Mexico.
Oh, it's the richest guy in Mexico. Also, like, good buddies with...
Good buddies with the president, yeah.
Good buddies with the corrupt president.
Yeah.
What a shock.
So Cha-Cha is throwing a party, and in the course of the party, a bunch of rebels break in and start saying, "Down with El Lupo," who I guess
Yeah,
is
and they all have
the president.
horses.
They got horses. Yeah, I don't know how they got all these horses in, but
Yeah, right? That's expensive.
that's really expensive. You'd think somebody would hear them coming a long time ago, but
Yeah, they burst inside with their horses. Like, they go
Yeah.
through the door. Was
They
there
got
like a
through everything.
barn? Are they in a
needed-
barn
yeah,
or something?
They needed some of those Cobra Commander guards. They didn't have any.
They didn't have those guys. Didn't pay them enough. Left them at home.
Yep. So the whole thing's going crazy here. Sapphire, yeah, she does refer to her dad as Daddykins, which is fucked up at any age.
That's what I call my dad.
Oh, that would piss him off so much.
Dude.
I hope you do, because I know how angry he would be.
He wouldn't be angry. My dad's kind of old now. He's not really angry all that much. When I was younger, yeah, I call my that wouldn't fly. Like, I
You're not
can't really
being a
fuck
man.
with my dad now. I do now because now he's like a 70-year-old man who can't fight back.
Yeah.
So now
yeah.
I fuck with him quite a bit, but like, I'm not doing that.
If you would have called him Daddykins, he would have forced you to go get in a fight.
I don't know what he would do.
He would have actually burned your teddy bear.
He
Yeah.
would have. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, you're too
That's gone.
soft. You don't deserve that any softness.
So they the rebels abduct Java and Simon, and Metamorpho and Sapphire stick around to figure out what's going on. And it turns out, yeah, that Cha-Cha is friends with, they don't call him president, they just say the leader, the great leader of Mexico, El Lupo.
You know, she was in real danger, and she ran for comfort to Metamorpho while
Yeah.
her fiance is hiding under a table.
Yeah, well, because it's Sapphire actually still loves Metamorpho this whole
Where's
time.
your self-respect, Cha-Cha Chavez?
He's got money and he's handsome, so he doesn't care.
Dude, I don't like that.
And powerful presidential connections.
He's made a commitment to this woman to marry her and protect her, and he's hiding under a goddamn table.
So Metamorpho decides he's going to side with these rebels. You know, it's interesting. They never actually mention what El Lupo did that was so terrible. They just, I guess Metamorpho just inherently doesn't like.
He's got bad policies.
Yeah. It's mostly about tort reform that he has an issue with.
So they're going to execute Simon and Java. Who are these supposed to be the villains of the book? Because they're also part of the Scooby Gang.
Simon and Java?
Yeah, they're also
do you
part of Metamorpho's little Scooby Gang.
Yeah. Well, the rebels are assuming that since they were hanging out with Cha-Cha, that they're friends of Cha-Cha and El Lupo. And so, they got to die. And Simon is actually saying, no, we don't like Cha-Cha at all. And I'm rich, by the way.
Dude, right before Java is about to be shot, he says, "Goodbye, Sapphire, my love. Too bad you never saw I was the best man."
I was the best man. Oh,
Jesus
what a
Christ.
loser. What a loser.
Dude.
So-
What is up with this Sapphire? What's she bringing?
I mean, we know what she's bringing. She's bringing a rich father and dad ass.
Dude, she's going to be a fucking
Yeah, I
pain
think
in
Chavez doesn't
badass.
actually have money, and this is a.
That was a work.
Oh, it's work. I think he's a cartel guy, it seems like.
He could be a cartel guy, or maybe he's got all his. It's just real estate scams. He doesn't actually have any money, but the real estate scams make it look like he's rich.
Man, the only way to make money is by scamming people.
That's the easiest way, for sure.
Dude, that sucks.
So Metamorpho shows up and he actually saves Simon and Java, and he
Well,
talks with the rebels.
hold on, James. Are you just going to leave this opportunity for us to start hawking Darkseid's couch Bibles?
Oh, we've got
This
yeah.
is
Are
the
they ready?
perfect time.
Are they ready? Are the printers ready? I hadn't looked at the
Yeah.
copies yet. Yeah, it's got the Constitution in there.
Dude,
And
what
it's
a
got-
fucking uncreative idea
And it's
to
got-
raise money.
Well, what we've added is we've got the script to Aquaman 2. We added in
Oh,
there. That's how it's the Dark Side's couch. So, it's got everything you need, all the best documents.
Aquaman 2 is so good.
It's kind of mediocre, but okay.
So good. What a cool movie.
But I like that it's our favorite movie. As a podcast, I like that it's
Yeah.
our favorite
I
movie.
mean, it's great.
Yeah.
What did people want?
It's just kind of
It delivered
rote.
on everything that it should have.
I mean, Black Man is cool,
Everything about that was awesome.
But yeah, those Bibles are fucking hilarious. That is great. What a crazy
The
grift.
Darkseid's Couch Bible will include the Book of Enoch.
Yes, yeah. It might be the only part of the Bible we have room for.
Wanna know why? Because that's the only one that actually happened.
We're gonna put so much other shit in there. That's all it. Enoch
Which
is all
one
we
is
got.
that?
Book of
It's
Enoch
aliens.
is about Noah's grandfather who gets abducted by fucking space aliens.
It's the official.
It's not even one of those
endorsed.
like, what are they trying to say? And like, it's not one of those like where it's all metaphor and shit. No, fucking
just a
Enoch describes
badass-
the inside of a goddamn spaceship.
It's just a badass story. They thought that the Bible was getting a little boring,
And
so
it
they had
was
to throw in a
written
little
thousands
fun.
of years ago.
We need a little spice in the
And
middle.
then
of
when
this
they were
thing.
putting the Bible together, the Vatican, they're like, well, we can't include the thing about the aliens.
aliens aren't real.
Everyone
So-
just look into the Book of Enoch. I'm not kidding.
No, we've mentioned the Book of Enoch many times.
I'm not kidding around. It's about a goddamn. It had like in these sci-fi stories where it's like they have to have plants inside the spaceship to create their oxygen. And fucking Enoch describes that.
Well, I mean, it's only 2,000 years old. It's not
Dude.
that old of a book, all things considered. It's pretty recent. So anyway, Metamorpho meets up with the rebels, saves Simon and Java, and they get on the same page. It turns out that the rebels were the one attacking Java all this time because of his connection with El Lupo.
Mm-hmm.
So Metamorpho's like, okay, I get it. We're all on the same page here. We have to kill Cha-Cha Chavez and El Lupo.
Metamorpho always looks like he needs a glass of water.
He's very parched. He has no
Look at
lips.
his
Maybe he
Cotton
can't
mouth.
eat or drink.
Look at this. Oh, right.
His life is hell.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna-
water. I mean, H2O. Like he's made of water.
Yeah, but he can't just drink himself.
Oh, I guess.
Like,
he
it's not
could.
gonna.
It'd be like sucking himself off,
Yeah.
which he can do.
He would be very useful for Aquaman, though. If Aquaman ever needed like an emergency bit of water,
All
Yeah.
right. He nicknamed him Thermos.
yeah, hang out with old Thermos McGee over here.
You know, that means he'd have to wait for Aquaman to pee it out so he can recollect it into his body to get what he
I
lost.
need that back. And Aquaman intentionally won't empty his bladder just to fuck with him. I just don't have to pee. I don't know what it is, man. I just
Yeah,
don't
right.
have to.
He will have to get that back.
You can't just keep it.
No, because then he's missing pieces of himself now.
Yeah,
like,
he's gonna have a
I
hard
need-
time holding together.
I need that pee.
Fucking douchebag move.
Shée, you'd be a great Metamorpho.
Yeah.
Why?
'Cause
I
you
can,
need that
'cause I can hold my
pee.
pee forever? I don't want to get stuck with this just because I'm super cool.
You'd be Lady Metamorpho. Jesus.
All right, that's the best joke.
All right. Yep.
Wrap it
Best
up.
joke metal. So anyway, yeah, they all got on horseback and they decide to ride over, and they go to the hacienda of Cha-Cha Chavez, which I thought they were already at, but I guess that's his estate and not his hacienda.
I don't know. Metamorpho turns into gas and leaves.
He turns into Just like, honestly, that's the appropriate response at this point. It's like, dude, I'm fucking done with this.
He's like, I'm not a. He's just like, what if he has a realization? He goes, I'm not a man, and it just turns into steam and leaves.
yeah, I'm part of the earth. I'm going to hang out with Swamp Thing.
He's like, oh.
None of this matters at all.
He's riding a horse. They're charging a helicopter that's firing a machine gun at him, and he's having a realization about his life. Because this lady's fucking with me, and Stag is using me. I'm riding a horse in a gunfire. I can just turn into steam. And
Yeah, I could just
disappear.
Be a part of this planet, this wonderful,
He
beautiful
just
planet.
goes into the atmosphere and becomes one with it. That's
Fucking, I'm
way
done.
better.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's like you're a god at that point.
I guess,
You
but
mixed
again,
yourself with the gases of the atmosphere of the Earth, that electromagnetic like field.
I think in order to be a god, you have to execute a large amount of power over other beings, and he doesn't really have that.
And he would need a book sold by Trump about him.
Yes. The Book of Metamorpho. Yeah,
The
we got
Book
that
of
in there.
Metamorpho? Fuck yeah, it's going to be in the Darkseid's Couch Bible.
Yeah, what a good Bible.
And our Bible is the Book of Enoch and Trump speeches.
And a lot of pictures. We're going to break up that book, all those words, too many words. We're going to throw in some pictures.
I got that.
Yeah.
I saw what you
callback.
did.
Tying it all together.
That was subtle. I like that.
Especially pictures in the Trump speeches. I definitely want to break up those Trump speeches with helpful
All the ones where his
illustrations.
fingers like pointed up in the air and his mouth open and his head cocked.
All his weird rants.
Yeah, that's what that frozen image looks like. He's going, yeah,
China.
yeah. That guy was the president for 4 years.
And then he staged an insurrection, and we didn't even tell him
They
he
just
can't be
broke
president
in
again.
and took a shit on some desks. I'm tired of people saying we almost lost our democracy, bro. The democracy doesn't live in that building.
They said that they brought a guillotine, and they said they were
Bro.
going to hang Mike Pence.
They didn't do nothing. They left
That
on their
hero.
own. They just left.
Eventually, after they killed somebody.
They
No
were
one
just
sto-
really enthusiastic.
If it was
Yeah.
that big of a deal, the National Guard would have dragged every single one of them out, and they didn't. They let
Didn't
it
they?
just.
Wa-
They let it just
wasn't-
happen.
Wasn't everyone pressuring Trump to call in the National Guard, and he was refusing to
the
do it?
governor calls in the national. Oh right, there's no governor of DC.
Yeah,
is there?
DC doesn't have a
Oh,
governor,
yeah,
dude.
DC doesn't
They
have
were
a governor.
trying to get the National
The
Guard in, and
governor
they
of
couldn't do
DC,
it.
I think, is the president.
The very least,
I'm
you would
so
think
glad
after that
that
happens,
happened.
at the very least, we would say, you know what? You just can't be president again. That's the mildest punishment we could possibly give.
But there's
and
no
we said
legal
no.
reason, though. There was no legal reason to deny him the ability to run for president.
Well, his
You can't just say you can't.
well, his language on that day seemed to be calling for an insurrection.
I think that was all a psyop. The CIA does that shit in other countries, and they're like, "Oh, they'll never do that here."
That's the end of part 2 of our book. Nope, that wasn't an awkward cut. I just moved things along. Then we get into part 3, the final part here, and we see what happened is, so this actually I think works pretty well, is because Metamorpho turned himself into hydrogen and floated up towards the helicopter with Cha-Cha, and Cha-Cha, apparently the only one who knows anything about how elements work here, takes a lighter and says, I'll just light you on fire. You're hydrogen.
So here we'll see, like, Metamorpho is in a gaseous state, and Cha-Cha Chavez just thinking on his feet, really. Like, he didn't panic that Metamorpho didn't, like, get in his lungs.
No, he could have fucked up. No, instead he exploded Metamorpho.
He died right there.
You know what? Apparently that won't kill him. So apparently nothing can kill this
No,
guy. maybe.
nothing kills him. He turns himself into gas.
So he reconstitutes himself and goes, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was dumb. I should have just like knocked the helicopter out of the sky.
You know, if he turned himself into natural gas, he would just had to go inside the helicopter and they all would have gone to sleep.
Yeah, there's a lot of things he could have done. And instead he chose
what
to.
do you call natural gas? I just know it's called that. Heat and gas. What is that made out of?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't need to know. I'm not some science nerd. I don't work at ComEd. So that's right. Everyone works at ComEd is a nerd.
No, because it's like, you know, it's
people's
like-
gas?
Yeah. It
Is
was
it
like, he's like,
people's gas?
I thought, yeah.
So anyway, I don't work for any of the utilities.
I don't work.
Yeah. And I really kind of don't, it feels like. So anyway, Metamorpho reconstitutes himself. They put a sombrero on his head, and they go, all right, well, now we're really going to fuck him up. Now we're really going to
What
cause
if he was
a
like,
scene.
because he was in a gas station and he got blown up and he was like trying to pull himself together and he does. He goes, quick, put a hat on me so I know I'm solid.
Oh, no, I feel like a person. Yeah, they give him a poncho and a sombrero,
He's like, oh, God.
and they go to Capital City. They're going to storm the Capitol. They bring their guillotine.
Mm-hmm.
Metamorpho turns into a guillotine.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're wheeling
they
down the street.
No, he
Looking
doesn't.
for Mike Pence.
That's
But it's a phosphorus guillotine.
that's not what that's
They
not
let
what
you know
happened.
what kind of a guillotine it is before
Yeah.
they kill you.
Yeah.
Does this story seem possible?
I
So
love Metamorpho's eyes.
well, he's got no eyelids.
Look at him, dude. He's what a freak.
This is terrible for him. So they see that people are already tagging Viva Metamorpho on the walls and everything, but they see a flyer that's been posted that says, "Attention, rebel dogs! Any revolt, and we will use von Glockenspiel's revenge to destroy the arena." Signed El Lupo and Cha Cha Chavez. So he's very tight with Cha Cha Chavez at this point.
And they actually signed their names.
They hand signed.
Legible.
this.
But because back then people still knew cursive.
Yep, people still cared.
Unlike now. The
And so they
TikTokers,
said-
those sons of bitches, they stole my cursive.
And so they say, all right, well, Heinrich von Glockenspiel, he was an ancient chemist and clockmaker, and supposedly he had some sort of formula for a powerful explosive, and he hid in one of his gadgets, but nobody knows about it. And Metamorpho puts this together, goes, oh, that's what they found in that toy that Sapphire has. That's why Cha-Cha is hanging out with Sapphire. She's got the recipe for Glockenspiel's revenge,
You know, if she didn't like him before, once she finds out, she'll actually start to like him.
that he's got this formula.
Now that the only reason he was with her was to get this formula. Now
Oh,
she
now-
realizes that her worth isn't as high as it.
Oh, so now he doesn't like her, so suddenly she likes him.
Uh-huh.
Oh, terrible.
Yep.
This is high school all over again.
I
This is
mean, look at
awful.
all the shit she's done. You're trying to tell me that's not how her brain works?
I mean, she's a damaged person.
Her father's Simon Stagg.
Simon Stagg Industries.
Like, who kills guys who fuck his kid.
Yeah, he'll expose you to an ancient artifact that'll turn you into a freak,
Yeah, dude.
rather than just like tell you can't date his daughter.
Yeah, he could have just said no.
He just said like I'm rich and powerful and this is never
he
gonna
had
happen.
a good job, though. Mill was a Metamorpho like a scientist.
He was like an explorer, kind of
Oh, was he?
architect,
Yeah.
adventurer. Yeah,
He
I
probably
mean,
just thought he was no
he
good.
probably saw a lot of cool shit traveling the world. So they go to this Coliseum. They're gonna go to a bullfight, right?
Yeah, and here the president of Mexico has a Mad Max style shoulder pad on his
He
jacket.
does. Yeah, he's got the whole shoulder pad. He's got his sash.
It's like a piece of football armor. He sewed onto put it onto his military coat. He's just like, put the football. He just saw the movie. And he's like, I want
Yeah.
a football pad on one arm. Or
I don't
all
think-
my jackets.
This isn't the real El Lupo. This is just his, what do you call it, distraction, his
Oh,
doppelganger.
the stand-in, the
Yeah,
double.
stand in. The real El Lupo ain't going to this shit. Especially because it turns out that they have the explosive here, and they're basically planning to blow up the rebels if they cause a scene. The president's not going to be around for that.
No. So they're gonna blow up the rebels and everyone at the bullfight and the
Yeah.
bull and themselves.
This plan doesn't make a lot of sense because they're like, we've hidden the explosive somewhere here, and where they've hidden it, it could go off at any moment and kill all of them.
And they hid it on the tip of a bull's horn.
Yeah, that won't touch anything accidentally.
Yeah, isn't that the whole point? Is for that to touch stuff?
It's insane. This is an insane plot. And Cha Cha Chavez immediately goes, "Oh wait, we could die. We should probably leave."
And Metamorpho was just thinking about the time he turned into gas and got blown up. He's like staring
You mean
off.
like
into-
5 minutes ago?
Yeah, he's just he's still traumatized.
He's
that
been
he
through
was
so
blown to
much.
pieces.
His life is so hard.
He's just like, what am I?
Well, he jumps. Well, right now he's a matador. He
Because
dresses up-
he doesn't have a physical brain.
yeah, he doesn't.
So what is he?
I mean, I guess he holds his elements together to shape a brain, but
It's like, am I a soul?
yeah.
Like searches his body. Oh my goodness.
Well, right now he's a matador. He dressed up like a matador. Unnecessary, by the way, for what they're about to do. He doesn't have to look like a matador, but he's
He's got
chosen
so
to
many
do that.
questions about existence now, and then he finds a Trump Bible.
Also, where'd he get the outfit?
He made it out of his body with the elements.
Yeah, he could just turn himself into LeMay.
What if? Oh, that's like they just put it on him.
If
What
that's the case, then he's choosing to walk around in those little bikini briefs all day.
I would. Yeah, right. Why isn't he wearing more clothes to cover up his mud leg?
I assume because it's going to transform, and where does the fucking pant leg go?
Dude, look at that. He's got a shit leg.
Yeah, it's pretty. So, yeah, the texture of Metamorpho is strange. He seems to be melting in multiple places.
Because he's got one leg made of ice. He's got another leg made out of
He's made
mud.
of ice.
Yeah, this is ice leg.
I think it's clear what element is what. Because one of them's purple.
Maybe we could find out. Let's look up what parts of Metamorpho's body is what element.
Which part is an animal, which part is a vegetable, and which part is a mineral?
Yeah.
Ooh, the orb of Ra.
Yeah, Ra. Yeah. So actually, what was happening was Ra was creating soldiers for his upcoming battle against whoever Ra hates, and that's what Metamorpho was supposed to
Whoever
be.
he hates now, right?
Yeah. Oh, we'll get back to that another time. I'm sure we'll resume that. So anyway, Metamorpho starts trying to get the trigger off of the bull, and he turns himself. So he mentions that he turns his legs to springs, but he mentions that they're copper spring legs, and he kind of turns himself into a calcium arc to like move out of the way of the bull. But like he didn't have to turn into specific elements to do this. They're just tossing out names of elements to keep the theme going.
I mean, what are you supposed to do in this situation? Really,
the
what you
bull
do
to
is you turn into a
gas.
gas, and knock
Put the bull
out.
to sleep. Yeah, knock the bull out.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or
maybe
maybe
he's
like
just scared because he sees a lot of lighters in the audience.
I'd turn into like an iron cage and keep him from moving for a moment, and then remove the fucking trigger.
Then the bull is going to like rake his horns against the cage.
Can a bull in a confined space break through like iron
No,
bars?
but it's going to try. It's going to in its fit of rage.
That's the least painful thing that Metamorpho's experienced today.
I know, but I'm saying like it'll hit the trigger.
Yeah, it might.
And
You
cause
have
the
to act
explosion.
quickly. Cha-Cha, for whatever reason, decides to blind Metamorpho with a tiny mirror, and it works.
Yep.
And actually, I don't know how, but it does.
Yeah. How does his eyes work if he can turn into steam? Because you need like to reflect the light, into your.
Yeah, it has to be
lens.
reflected. Yeah, that's also why
so-
the invisible woman in Fantastic Four doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
'Cause
like how does she see?
She wouldn't be able to see anything. Well, I'm referring more to the fact that he's got a tiny little pocket mirror that's in a giant coliseum, and he somehow managed to blind Metamorpho with it. But okay,
You think his leg stinks?
I think probably all of his body stinks.
Maybe he just stinks.
Smells terrible.
He might just stink.
So here
Most
he
superheroes smell bad.
So here he turns into gas again, which is what he should be doing this entire time to avoid
Yeah.
getting. And he like uses part of his body to make a blood rag.
So this is the grossest part. This kind of made me uncomfortable. He turns his hands into a bromine cape, but the way it just looks like he turned his hands into a silly putty rag. It's really kind of gross, especially because when he jumped in originally, he had an actual red rag.
Right.
He had a
wanted
real
to-
red
He
flag.
wanted to be. He wanted
Yeah,
to be all Cronenberg.
it got pulled away. They
Yes.
acknowledge that.
That's who
Okay,
should
all right,
direct a Metamorpho
Cronenberg?
movie. Is Cronenberg
Oh
or maybe
God.
Raid.
Let's get it going. I do feel like I really like, if you want to read more Metamorpho, Jeff Lemire's The Terrifics. It's a pastiche of the Fantastic Four using DC characters. So it's Mr. Terrific and Plastic Man and Metamorpho and Phantom Girl. And I really like it. And I think that James Gunn is trying to set up The Terrifics because half that team is in the DCU movie. So I say, yeah, get Cronenberg to direct that Terrifics movie.
I hope they get it out before Disney's Fantastic Four.
Well, that's coming out. That's supposedly coming out 2 weeks after
No,
Superman,
it's
so it's
not.
unlikely. I honestly don't think it. Yeah, because they haven't even started filming that motherfucker.
No.
Apparently, they're going to start filming Fantastic Four in August to have it out in July.
No, they're not filming anything.
Well, they're going to film it. It's just a question of if they're rushing it. I think they might be. I don't know.
They will now that James Gunn's like, I'm just going to make my version of it. It's going to be exactly the same.
Fuck it. Well, what's fun about the Terrifics, so the Fantastic Four is an actual family, but the Terrifics were exposed to the dark multiverse, and they're elementally bound together. They can't be more than a mile or so away from each other or they'll die. So they have to they're forced to kind of be a family even though they're not a family. It's a very fun book.
It's like a normal family.
Yeah, where I'm here for reasons I don't quite understand and I don't
Right.
like.
But you can't get further than a mile away from any of them.
I mean, when you're a kid, you
Yeah.
don't have any money.
Yeah, you're just stuck there. I
You
can't get
are,
a mile
so
away
You do got to be about a mile near your folks.
from my shitty family. Yeah.
Oh, my family's not shitty.
Finally, then Metamorpho, he turns his hand into, what does he say? He says it's a magnesium wire lasso. Could just be a rope, but okay.
He just severs the bull's head.
That's not what happened. But he
No.
grabs the bull. He manages to pull out the detonator. Cha-Cha goes, "You motherfucker, you fucked everything up." And he takes out a pistol and starts shooting randomly. Yeah. He grabs Sapphire like gorilla, like Godzilla, just grabbing her and running away while he's shooting aimlessly.
Uh-huh. But unlike Godzilla, he's not practicing his layups.
He is not. I said Godzilla, didn't I? I meant King Kong. Doesn't matter. Who cares? And
I'm
and
so
then
confused.
and then Java jumps in to try and impress Sapphire, but immediately gets hit by the bull's remaining horn and
Yeah,
it goes right up his butthole.
Right up his butthole.
This is why you don't want to be a matador.
Dude, that poor caveman.
He'll be fine. He's lived 500,000 years. He's fine.
No, he hasn't. He's probably frozen or something.
Yeah, he's probably frozen
we
for
didn't
time.
believe that he's been alive for 1,000,000 years.
I don't know. I don't know the backstory of Java, honestly.
Hopefully they put Java in the Superman movie.
Yeah, I hope he shows up.
I hope he's
Played-
90% of the movie.
Played by who's a pudgy guy?
Henry Cavill.
Henry. Yeah, sure. Get
Henry
him back.
Cavill can play. He can be in a Superman movie again.
Sure, I'd love that. I'm sure that's not a downgrade in his mind at all.
Not at all.
Didn't he make The Witcher?
Yes.
I don't think that guy should be complaining about
Didn't he
downgrades.
leave The Witcher because he thought it was shit?
Dude, that show was shit.
I don't know. I don't care. TV shows made out of video games. I mean,
It was a, you know what it
Struggling.
was? It was a not fun Xena.
oh, okay. I love Lucy Lawless. Love that lady.
Like, imagine that show if you took away all the tongue-in-cheek fun and a little humor and a little kitschy, like having a good time. You just left with that cheesy garbage.
Right. Well, I like that she shits on Kevin Sorbo all the time.
Yeah.
She owns his
What if it's
ass.
a work though? What if like they're both doing it just for fun? He's like, I'm gonna pretend to be conservative online. And you can roast me.
I guess. I mean, I don't have any evidence to support that, but I guess it's a possibility.
I would do that. I would ruin my reputation for something trivial.
Yeah. When sure, this is going to destroy my career when I desperately need some
What
money
else was
coming
he
in.
gonna do? What was he doing?
That's kind of the problem. Is he needed
Lucy
to...
Lawless can still do stuff.
Yeah, she can. What a
Kevin
babe. What a
Sorbo
great
ain't
lady.
doing nothing.
No, he ain't. All right. Speaking of doing stuff, Metamorpho turns his hand into like a gelatin glue
Snot.
gun.
Snot made out of
He snots
fucking
him?
mercury.
So Cha-Cha gets stuck in the snot. Metamorpho punches him in the face.
Killing him
and
instantly.
and Sapphire apologizes, and Metamorpho goes, "Well, you know, I'm a simp, so I'm fine with that." Java's got a horn up his butt, and the rebels have captured both Cha-Cha and the president.
Do you think the bowl is just the smell of Java's ass was just too much for him, and that's why he's just
Well-
sitting there stationary?
Java don't know about Java don't know about wiping.
Like Java's like laying there going, "Oh shucks," and that bowl is just like, "Whoa!"
Java smell terrible. Java probably smells as bad as Metamorpho.
Right, with that shit leg.
What a bunch of gross. No wonder Simon doesn't want his daughter.
I guess
around
he's
either
got
of
like
these
a
people.
shit upper body, half upper body too.
Yeah, gross dude. But that's how the book ends.
Viva Metamorpho!
I don't know. What do we think of this?
I liked it.
All right, Shée, what did you think of this thing?
This was a comic book.
Yeah, I didn't love it. It was fun. But I
You
like
wanted
Metamorpho
to do a
lot.
Metamorpho book for a while, and now you got it.
Yeah, it just wasn't this one. But he's in the Outsiders. He might show up on the Batman.
I
episode
like
we're
this
gonna do.
because I like the idea that the bad guys are also part of the fun little gang.
Yeah, it's a fun arrangement. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I wish they could have used his skills more competently, but it was still fun. I'll say 3 out of 5 mariachi trumpets. They're made out of brass, which is an alloy of copper and zinc.
I love Mexico.
How do you make an alloy?
Oh, by melting down metals until they're red hot and then pounding them together. That
I
is
love
an like
trumpets.
steel. Steel is an alloy.
I love trumpets. I love Mexico.
Mexico's great.
Everything is great. I've never been to Mexico, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
I used to vacation there.
Yeah, hanging out with rich ladies.
Because me being broke, going to Mexico City, and because it's cheap.
Yeah, that's a big. Well, now it's probably more expensive than living in the U.S.
There's no escape.
Yeah, there's no
from
getting
the
away.
poverty.
I think it's time to look at what we're doing next episode.
All right. What are we doing?
got this
Are we supposed to
massive
do
wheel.
anything?
No, we've got one more episode before our Batman episode, so this is the
wow.
last. Yeah, this is the last chance for your vote. Vote is vital for a little bit. So if it doesn't come up this time, we've got Reagan's Raiders, all kinds of good stuff on the wheel. I'm really hoping for one of these issues of what I got, Young Love. Young Love. I said Young Blood. We've still never done a book that starts with a Y.
Yeah.
Still never done it. So,
really? We did
Nope.
Z.
We did Z. We still have not done a Y. So we got Young Love on there. 3 different issues of Young Love.
What don't you guys want?
I don't know. I don't really want like an Avengers book or necessarily a Superman book,
Yeah.
even though that
want
always.
Darkhawk.
I
don't
don't
want
want Teen
Darkhawk.
Titans.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want Teen Titans. I don't know, man. We've got some good requests on there too, though. Animal Land 71, Giant Size Man Thing. Might see that. Yeah. So, lots of good options. Let's turn on a little spinning music to see what we're gonna be looking at next time. From Atomic God, it's Thrice, a song called Dead Wake.
Wow, that did a good job describing what having racing thoughts feels like.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of a compliment.
Yeah, like they captured that pretty well.
I don't know Thrice. This is kind of the extent of my exposure to them. I thought they were like an emo band. Is that what this is?
I don't know. Sounds like a butt rock band from the thousands.
Shée, what do you think of Thrice?
I don't know them much. I know the name.
Yeah, are they a
This
winner?
sounds like what would play on like Q Rock.
Yeah, this sounds like they would tour with Hawthorne Heights.
So it's more of a deuce.
I think this is
Thrice, deuce.
I mean, Thrice is an early 2000s band name.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm sure they're. Great.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
they're fantastic.
Like no one's gonna be called Thrice now. Remember for a while everyone's band name was like a sentence.
Yeah, and you shall know us by the Trail of the Dead.
Yeah. A lot of sentences.
probably
for
the
a
only one I
while,
remember.
But now that's gone. Now they're
Yeah.
back to normal.
Yeah. Well, we can definitely spin to it. So let's see what's coming up next time as we hit that quiet bridge. Holding my breath, as always. Oh! Okay.
Oh.
Came very close to Your Vote is
Interesting.
Vital, but it's Weird Tales of the Future issue 2. Was this a request? What is this?
I don't know.
Let's look at the list and see Weird Tales of the Future. Let me do a little
there it
Control
is.
F. Weird Tales of the Future from 1952. City of the Caveman. Sounds like insert rival city here. Okay, this seems like it came from Mike.
I don't know. That could have been your joke too.
It could have been Weird Tales of the Future. Why do we have this?
What the hell is this?
It's an old it's an old weird public domain comic from the 50s, and we've got like the creature from the Black Lagoon knocking over cities.
Uh-huh.
And
The creature
women
of the
running
Black Lagoon can't melt steel beams, bro.
You can't. So he's just knocking them down instead. We've got the military that came in. I don't know, man. They're putting down their insurrection pretty well.
Yeah, right?
They called them the National Guard.
Maybe they think the creature of the Black Lagoon is just going to wander around for a bit, take a shit on a desk, and then go home on his own
Maybe
recognizance.
he'll leave. Maybe he'll take his guillotine and he'll just leave. Okay, this is a surprise, but I like a surprise. I think this is going to be fun.
You know, that insurrection is a lot like how the government deals with like every problem. It's like, if we ignore it, maybe they'll just go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can't bomb it into oblivion and profit off of it.
It didn't do anything.
Jesus. All right. Well, that's happening next time. Weird Tales of the Future. Number
great.
whatever the fuck I said it was. Number 2.
Oh my god! Whenever it's on this website, you know it's gonna be funky. When you go to the public domain website, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, Comic Book Plus is a free public domain website for all these weird old comics, and you can find some crazy shit out there. So
The best Halloween
Yeah.
ones we've ever had came from Comic
yeah,
Plus.
if you want to see some weird old public ones like that's oh boy.
shout out to Comic Book Plus. Look at us, huh?
Comic
Hey,
Plus, these guys are
why
great.
not?
No, I love that someone's archiving all this weird shit that nobody
Truly.
wants to keep in print. Like everybody's like, dude, let's just forget this ever happened. And there are a few public domain sites that are like, no, I'm gonna keep that top of mind.
We should
Okay.
advertise on this website.
Yeah, we should. Well, it says advertise here for $1 a day. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we should
Maybe we
advertise on
should
this
do that.
website.
Somebody make us a graphic that fits in a banner.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Someone please make us a banner for
Make us
like
a
an
banner?
ad for this website, and for $1 a day, we could advertise on Comic Book Plus.
I'm sure it gets a heavy amount of traffic. But honestly, maybe that is the place to advertise.
Yeah,
for,
where else
comic
would we
book
advertise?
websites. Fucking idiots. I'm trying to advertise on Facebook.
$1 a day's worth it, bro. I'll go halvesies.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Send us a banner. Send us all kinds of things. Send us whatever you want. If you make us a spinning song, I will play that entire motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Normally we only play a clip, but if you send us a 3-minute song you made about spinning wheels, we will play that entire thing.
We will.
Yeah, just send us stuff. We like stuff. Keeps us going. I think that's it, though. I'm looking forward to this. Anybody
me
got?
too.
Oh, Shée, I almost fucked it up, but then I didn't.
You caught
I
it.
caught myself. Hey, good for me. A little
nice
celebration for me.
job.
Shée, can you give us some plugs, please?
Yeah, listen to more episodes using any podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcast, etc. And find even more episodes and information at darksidescouch.com. And then follow Darkside's Couch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube, all at Darkside's Couch. And keep up with our episodes and our videos. And send us kisses.
Yeah, we know if you don't. We can tell.
Yeah, we do.
The analytics are very invasive. I know what you're doing instead. Okay, I think that's it. Anybody got any final thoughts? And then we get out of here.
I will metamorpho you later.
You can't retake that one. You got to retake the intro. You don't get to retake the shitty outro. Shée.
Nope, I got nothing after that, honestly.
I crashed it.
All right.
The ending is 404.
That's all for now, Kosher Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
On the next Arrested Development,
Sapphire, we shouldn't be doing this here. Your father is Simon Stagg, one of the wealthiest men in Gotham. You're his only daughter, and
I don't care what the world sees. I know the man you are inside. That's who I love. Don't worry about Daddy. He's gonna love you.
but he really didn't.